You
Right.
see my background all right?
Oh yeah, looking good, man. Looking good.
Okay.
Looking
All
good.
right.
All right. Welcome everyone. It's a beautiful Thursday afternoon. And man, I just have the pleasure to be on here with Michael Brave, man. I love this guy, big believer. He's an awesome man. And I've grown to grown fond of him in the last few weeks, since we met. Um, so yeah, Michael, man, how's it going?
Man, it's going great. Hey, since we just now went live, let me say again, we've got a lot of people on YouTube that are following me. I got three cameras here. So hello to all my friends in Europe. It's late. And all my YouTube friends over here, say hello to them as well. And everybody, this is Brandon that I'm speaking with. So yeah, today's great, man. It's been crazy busy in a good way. This morning I had a meeting with the Business Builder Association, and then I had my global business meeting, and now with you. But you know what's interesting? It's the same topic that you have. So you couldn't have picked a better topic.
Oh man, I tell you what, and it's so important. Mindset is so important, and that's what we're gonna drill down today is the mindset that we need to have in this climate that we're in. There's so much going on in the world. You hear wars, you hear about what happened in Maine yesterday, and even here in Nashville, and two police officers got shot, and the guy, took his own life. It's just a mess going on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? The market, the volatility of the market, and families need help, and that's the beauty of being an agent, insurance agent. We have an opportunity to help people protect their wealth, their finances, get in a position no matter what goes on in the world, they'll be okay financially. So the mindset we need to have, I know Michael, you're going to really break that down. And Michael's background, he has a long background, and I'm going to let him talk about it. He's been in business for a while. So I'm gonna let him talk about that, man. And so, yeah, what do you think, Michael? What kind of mindset should we have with all these things
well,
going on in the world right now?
well, it's in every business. Like today at the and it's all relative, right? It fits in every category. Whether you're in the car business, the real estate business, the insurance business, a housewife, a child. Everything is about your mind, and it is. I'm telling you, I was trained, and I believe this because I practice it every. You've got to protect your mindset, and that is hard to do. It's easier said than done unless you have discipline. And then, Brandon, you've got to have the right people in your circle. Man, that is hard. Now I'm a little older than you, all right? So I've lost some of my people in my circle. And this is a known fact that there are most people only go with about five people in their inner circle. I'm talking about drop dead friends that you can discuss anything with, and they're not going to judge you. They're hard to find, aren't they?
Yeah, real hard to find, real hard to find. And yeah, go ahead.
And the thing about it is that even the coach needs a coach. Anybody that tells you they don't, that is foolish. Otherwise, why would we read the Bible, right? I
Right.
had some people here recently that I'm now associated with, and by the way, hello to all my alliance friends. And one of the things that is instilled over there, and I'm a believer of that, by the way, is that you've got to have a mindset, and you've got to have a system, and you've got to have a cookie cutter approach to everything you do. Hey, everybody knows what they do when they first wake up in the morning, but they don't really think about it, right? I know the very first thing when I wake up in the morning, I mean, it's the first thing, and I've been doing it for ever since I can remember, is I get up, I go to the restroom, and I get on my knees and I pray, and then I go make my coffee. That's how I start my day, right? Now,
Mhm.
whatever religious belief people are that are listening right now, listen, if you take the heavens and you take the earth, Brandon, you push them together, you know what that is? The seeds of greatness. And
Mm.
everybody that's listening to this right now, each one of you and ladies, men and women, you are all a seed of greatness. And don't let anybody, I don't care who it is, tell you any differently. But it goes back to that circle of influence. That's that core group of people that you're dealing with. Look, as agents, what's really good about this industry, and I love it, you know, there's two industries I think that are still very powerful, especially in this climate. Now, some people in the real estate business don't really see that. But see, every time there is a valley, there's also an opportunity. And there's opportunities, especially if you have money. Look, the real estate market is going to go down in a big way. It's not going to affect our insurance business. But you know what? Those agents that are watching this, you can make enough money in the insurance business to capitalize when the market goes down, right? What do you want to do? You want to buy when it goes down, sell when it goes up, right?
Right.
Common sense.
Yeah.
So what I love about this insurance space is it allows average people with an above average attitude. That's what I've always looked for, me personally. You know, I have to laugh. You know, you and I talked about this not too long ago. You know, you get on the YouTube and you get on the Facebook and you get on all. Look, some of these people, you got to be careful. You've got to be careful. You've got to follow people that you believe in, number one, and really care about you, right? And there's everybody that's watching the show right now. We're all in different IMOs, right? Look, there's good, there's bad, but here's the positive is that you have a ticket. You have a ticket in your pocket right now. It's called an insurance license. And that ticket allows you to go out and write your own paycheck, whatever amount of money you want to make, right? But you know as well as I do, Brandon, this is not an easy job, right? But what is, right? What is?
It all takes work. Anything you get into is going to take work. You know, I don't care how, you know, people try to dress it up, sell you on it. If you want to be successful, it's going to take that work. You have to put in that work, man. You're going to have to put in that work.
And that takes discipline, you know, and it takes a system, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you got to scratch up the mind. Look, your mind is like a recorder. Now, most of your audience don't remember LPs, but if you took an old record player, right, and you put the needle on it, man, and it would play over, and I mean, it just play like, boy, it was fantastic. But I'm telling you, you get a little scratch in that LP, guess what? It gets to that scratch, it jumps. It gets that scratch, and it jumps. And some people listen to this don't even know what an LP is. But here's the cool thing about it. If you allow that same record to play over and over and over, it would literally, Brandon, it would create a new groove. And what I mean by that and how that parallels today with mindset, it's creating a new pattern. If things are not working for you right now, you just got to change it. Change your pattern, shake it up a little bit, and get around the right people.
That's it. Getting around the right people. I mean, you can't be an eagle trying to fly with pigeons. You know what I mean, or chickens. You know, you gotta get with the right people, and you want to get with people that know a little bit more than you as well. You know, if you're giving out the advice, then you're in the wrong circle. You know, so that's the mindset you need to have, and that's what's great about these online communities, like with the Alliance Group. You have these people coming together. You know, and it you know, you can't talk to this, you know, how we talk, Michael, to your spouse. You know, it's a different conversation. You know, once you have that community, like-minded individuals that you can really have that in-depth conversation, because it's a lot that we go through. You know, like you said, with that ticket in your pocket comes a lot of responsibility. Like if you're out here running a business, you know, it's up to you to keep it afloat. So you need to get around people that's going to help you keep that afloat. So that's one key thing I can say about a mindset you need to have. You need to get in the right community. And, you know, we're blessed with the internet. We need to get in the right circles. I mean, if you're not getting help from your current IMOs, or you're out here on your own, you might, you know, you might want to have a different conversation with someone else. So,
yeah, without a doubt. You know, without a doubt, because, you know, there's some great IMOs out there, and there's some that, you know, that are not that good, because some of them get so darn big, to be honest with you. And then, but isn't it true though? It filters down. So whoever you're trained by, if they're not walking their talk, how can the person that you recruit or you're sponsoring, you're helping as an agent, how can they respect? I used to do this training, and it always blew me away. Because I come, as you know, I'm a sales guy. I'm a marketing guy, a sales guy, a business guy. And it would always blow me away that sales managers would be a sales manager for one simple fact. they were good at administrative skills, but they couldn't sell their way out of a wet paper bag, honestly.
Mm,
And so then you would start having these managers talk to their team about how to close, how to sell, how to follow through, how to create relationships. And they were never valued or respected by the sales team because they knew they didn't know how to sell. So what's my point, right? The point is, as agents, and a lot of your listeners are brand new. I mean, maybe you've just got your license. Maybe you're 20, 25, 30, or maybe older. Who knows? I'm really, me personally, I'm building a huge team nationwide that are 25 to 40. But
mm,
but whatever age you're in, you've got to find the people that can motivate you, excite you. I have a conversation just not too long ago by, he may be on here, I don't know. Look, memories are also setups for your success. Now, I'm not talking about going back and waddling. If
mm.
memories were not important, Brandon, then you're married, right? You're happily married, got a beautiful child. If that memory wasn't good to go back and look at, boy, I remember when we got married, right? But
Mhm.
sometimes or I remember when I bought that brand new Ferrari. I remember when I bought, 2,000 head of cattle. I remember. So those are good memories. But
Mhm.
sometimes what happens in our mindset, some people keep going back to the old negative stuff and pulling it out. It's okay to go back and get memories and pull the positives so that you can take that to the future.
Mm.
Memories are just setups for the future. That really is.
And that makes a lot of sense. You gotta learn from your mistakes as well, like or whatever that happened in your past. You got to get over that hurdle. You got to get over that obstacle that you face. And that's one thing I wouldn't want to work with somebody that's been like, on the up and up all the time. Like I want to be around somebody that has that experience of failure. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? That's a life lesson right there, to help
Yeah.
me prevent me from going through that. So you have to, you have to move forward from your memories, whether it be
Mm-hmm.
good, bad, I know, like you said, when I got married, I knew that was one of a God sent. That was something I decided to do. And I feel like I was following the Holy Spirit in that moment. So I'm going to
Yeah.
listen to the Holy Spirit moving forward. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And if I made a lot of money, I made, 6 figures this month and I lost 6 figures the next month. What happened?
Yeah. Yeah. We've all been there. Hey,
Yeah,
you're not an entrepreneur if you've never lost money, right?
right.
And
Exactly.
anybody that says they haven't lost money, they're not that truthful. Especially the
Right.
higher you get, right? The higher the ladder you go up, the chances of making a few mistakes, it's just inevitable. It's how
Mm,
you rebound, and that
mm,
goes back to the mindset. See, if
yeah,
if you're not a cheerleader of yourself, and everybody, and I have this debate all the time. People say, "Well, I'm not in sales, right? He's one of my construction guys, or he's my lawn guy." I says, "Listen, you're in sales every day because as soon as you wake up, whether you use the restroom first and then get on your knees and pray, or that's not your model. I know one thing's for sure. You probably look in the mirror. You either
mm,
brush your teeth, comb your hair. Of course, I have no hair, right? But
mhm,
but but that person that's looking back at the other person in the mirror, you're selling that person to get in the car and go to work and do whatever it is you do. And all day long, you're bombarded by negative things, right? Whether it's somebody that pulls out in front of you or somebody you're working with, you don't like how they respond. But it's all about your mindset. And it's so easy to sit here and talk about it. Hey, even the coach needs a coach from time to time. Look, I need a coach. You need a coach. Hey, let's look at football, right? Why do they have so many coaches? Right? Why don't they just
mm,
have one coach? Because each
mm,
one of those guys bring a certain amount of experience to the football
mm.
team. Some make it and some don't, right? If they don't make it, they get fired, right?
That's good. That's good. And like you said, we're always selling. We're selling ourselves, and we need to sell ourselves on positivity. You look in the mirror. You need to look in the mirror and really examine yourself. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah,
that's biblical. You need to examine
yeah,
yourself. You need to figure
exactly.
out: are you letting things of this world, like I said, with the wars going on and market volatility, maybe your 401k just is plummeting, or you lost a loved one, or anything, how are you going to rebound? Take a look at yourself and and don't let this world defeat you. I'm blessed to have my hope and faith in Christ Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I pray everyone finds them. But you got to look in the mirror. It starts with, even with that faith. I have to have that faith in God. I'm gonna be okay. Whatever I'm about to, overcome, I'm gonna overcome it. Storm's temporary. It's always temporary. And if you hold on, and my podcast, you learn this, Michael. When I get on here, it always goes back to God. That's just part of me. That's a big part of me,
Yeah.
man. So, you got
Hey,
you.
you know my background. I'm a believer, man. People that don't want
Right,
to talk
right.
about belief of God, then that kind of go back to your circle, right?
Yeah, that
I
goes back
in
to
the insurance business, you've always got people saying, "Well, I got a better contract over here, or I've got this over there." Look, it really comes back down to one thing. We talked about this. This is the reason why you and I hit it off. I think it's multiple things. I think it's definitely a God thing. I know you had an opportunity to talk to Joe today. He's already texted me, said, "Oh my gosh, man, this guy's unbelievable." So hats off to you on that. But it's just like a marriage, right? A partnership in business, because we all need to support each other. If we really and truthfully want to help each other, it's all about helping each other and understanding that we're all human. We all go through the same stuff, right? We all, as crude as this may sound, look, we all are conceived the same way, right? We come out the same way. What changes though? Really, what changes? It's the environment, right? Some people are born into an alcohol family, and by the way, 8 out of 10 people become an alcoholic. Some people are born into obesity. 7 out of 10 become obese. Some people are born into drugs. 9 out of 10 become they're addicted to drugs.
Mhm.
Here's a bad one here, right? They're born into abusive families. 7 out of 10. Look, these are real numbers. Y'all can check it out. This is a real statistic. But then you go back, changes. We hear some of these stories, or they're born in a poverty, they're born in the ghetto, and boy, the next thing you know, somehow they broke that pattern. And I think it goes back, they figured out a way to protect their mind. They figured out how to get around the right circle of influence. Like you and I talked about, when we go, I live on the golf course, right? When I go
Mhm.
play golf, I personally play with scratch golfers. I'm not a scratch golfer, okay? I
Mhm.
play with scratch golfers because I want to play with people that are better than me. I don't want to play
Mhm.
with somebody at the same level. Everything that I do in business, personally, I surround myself with very successful people. Had somebody just recently said, we were talking about money and things like that. I've had a very high and I've had a very low, right? There's mountains and there's valleys. And
Mhm.
when you have a ding of about 8 figures, that's a big ding, right?
Mhm.
And somebody says, "Well, I don't know anybody to give you any money." Well, let me share something with you. People have no money problems. Literally, there are no money problems in the world. And I know this is going to be a hard one to swallow,
Mhm.
but there are no money problems, Brandon. There are only idea problems and people to act upon those ideas. Otherwise,
Mhm.
why do people buy insurance from us? Okay. Why do they invest in the stock market? Why do people go and buy into Amazon and Apple? Because you know what? A lot of them, they don't know what to do. They have no ideas. So they invest in somebody that had a good idea. Look, money is easy to get. It
Mhm.
literally is. And the cool thing about everybody that's listening to this right now, um, in my lifetime, I probably have delivered, well, I know I've delivered over 7 figures in my career. Okay. And that's policies, right? And, maybe it's a $10,000 one, it's a $25,000 one, it's a 70, whatever the number was, right? But collectively. And there is nothing more powerful, guys and ladies, that gets your belief system than delivering a check. Now, it doesn't mitigate that somebody died or something tragically happened. I'm not saying that at all. But sometimes, and as agents, we hear it all the time. Well, I just don't know. It's $100 a month, or it's $200 a month. It's too easy to say, well, I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it the next day, right? I'll do it next year. Well, guess what? We're all on this earth on a finite time. We don't know if you're going to make it to 90. We don't know if we're going to die today. But the cool thing about the insurance business, when you deliver a check for 25 or 50 or 100,000 or whatever that may be, and like I said, it doesn't mitigate somebody's death, but boy, it sure softens the blow. I know a story that I shared just yesterday, as a matter of fact. There was this couple in Dallas, and they were friends of mine, actually. And this goes back years and years and years ago. And they just said, Michael, and they made a lot of money, by the way. And unfortunately, they had some ups and downs like we've all had, right? And not because of them, it was just the circumstances. And they had a $250,000 life insurance policy on his wife. And he said, Michael, he said, I can't tell you how many times I did not want to make that payment on my life insurance policy. And he said, you know who kept me making it? Was my wife. Now, what happened to his wife? And she is dead now. She died of cancer. She got cancer about 7 years after they had this policy. It might have even been 8 years, something like that. And when I delivered that check, and by the way, as an agent, when something like that tragically happens, they're going to send the check to you. You're going to have the opportunity, because they're your client. You're going to drive to their house, and you're going to be able to hand this to them. When I drove to Dallas, Texas, we cried like babies because I love those people. And he cried. Oh man, it was an emotional day, you can imagine. But he told me, he said, Michael, this doesn't bring back my wife. And I said, yes, sir. His name is Johnny. And he says, but I can't. And he's the one that told me about the story about not wanting to make the payments. He said, it was my wife that kept saying, make those payments. He says, this is not going to bring her back. Their bills were staggering. Now, thank God they had some medical insurance, right? But he still was going to have to pay money above and beyond that. And it was crazy. So I know we're on the topic of mindset, but as all you guys and ladies are listening to this as agents, maybe you're brand new. Maybe you just got your license. I've got people that are watching right now that are 21, 22, 35 years of age. You just got your license, and you're going to be told all of the stories about how hard it is. But what's not? I did this just the other day. I wrote it down. And you think about the different businesses that you have the choice, right? Everybody's in this business right now because you want to protect families and you want to protect their money. But I want you to really hone in on how powerful what business you're in. Once you get over the hump and you get the wheel to rolling, right? There's people on here right now that have their license, because I know who they are, and they got a real estate license, right? Let's take that real quick. It's back to a mindset, right? If you sell real estate, you got to have a good mindset, right? Because you got to go out and you got to buy leads. You got to go put signs in the yard. You got to do follow-up. It's the same thing as insurance, right? But watch, Brandon, if they sold, and we're going to use the number $270,000 on a house, just for the sake of talking, if that's okay. By the way, the average house sale, if you take the good, the bad, and the ugly and put it all together, the average house sale right now is $390,000 in America, okay? And the real estate's getting ready to plummet, but that's also an opportunity for people like us in the insurance business that have money to pick it up. But let's take a look at this. You're in the real estate business. You go out and you work your tail off like you're doing in the insurance business. You sell that $270,000 house. Man, you are excited. Now, the average commission to sell a real estate is 7%. But I'm going to do the math real easy for us today. By the way, if it was 7%, 5% goes to the broker. The remaining balance goes to, part of it goes to the broker, 5% goes to the real estate. But let's round it up to 10% because I know we're on a time frame. That is $27,000 that real estate agent makes. Man, they are excited. By the way, the average real estate agent doesn't sell 10 in a year. It's more like 3 to 5. But let's say that's 27,000. Okay. Now let's take another. So that's an industry everybody could be in, right? One sale, $27,000, $270,000 house. What if you were selling solar I got a lot of people that coming on my team that are in the solar business. Now, it doesn't cost $270,000, but let's assume all the way through this model, it's $270,000 to put solar on your house. It's a 10% commission, guys and ladies. That's $27,000 one-time commission. What if you went in and you put a swimming pool in? It costs $270,000, a 10% commission, $27,000. You put a new roof on your house, it's $270,000. They pay 10% commission, that's $27,000. Now, guess what? Y'all listen to me. You're in this business, you know this number, but sometimes when you get negged out and you're trying to protect your mindset with all the negativity that's going on, and you think it's hard, right? Most people quit on the 1 yard line because it's hard. They quit on the 1 yard line, not realizing that the next opportunity can make them a touchdown. Let's assume all of you that are brand new, some of you are older. If you sell $270,000 in premiums in 1 year, you know how much money you're going to make. That's around $150,000, but it doesn't stop there. Brandon, you know what's so great about this industry? You still have another 5% that you get every single year forever and ever and ever until the grass don't grow and the wind don't blow, as long as they're making their premium payments. Unlike the other example. So when you start thinking about your mindset, you start thinking about quitting. We've all done it, right? Man, you go for 1 week, 2 weeks because you're not following a cookie cutter system. And that means you get leads, you buy leads, you follow up on the leads, you follow up on your customers. Everything in sales and marketing and negotiating is all about the follow-up. If you don't have good follow-up skills, you need to get with a mentor. You need to get with somebody that can teach you that. Look, it's the cookie cutter approach. This is biblical as well, right? It's the pebbles in the shoes that'll bring down the giant, guys and ladies. Don't let anybody try to neg you out of what you're doing. Maybe right now you're brand new and you haven't even made your first sale, or maybe you're brand new and you're not even in the business yet. Find somebody, find a company. Look, I'm a little older, right? I've got young people that are coming out of the wazoo right now. I'm talking about from 22 to 35, because my good friend says, that's your market, Michael. Find those people. Because sometimes older people, right, they don't have a good mindset because they didn't protect their mind all the way through their career. Because it's okay to have the valleys and it's okay to have the peaks. By the way, the valley is the mountaintop of the last mountain you just climbed. Okay. So the next mountain's coming, baby.
Right there.
It's coming.
You said a word right there, man. What'd you say? The
That's
valley?
powerful.
What? Say it one more time.
Okay, so the valley that we're in right now, we're all in it, right? Is simply the mountaintop of the one you just climbed. The next mountain is the next step. And as soon as you climb that mountain, that is what now? It's a valley. And you got to go to the next one. See, I've experienced the 2008. Okay. So my mentor, man, I took a blow. However, man, it's just like the pandemic. We all come out of it, right? Look, during the pandemic, I was out there hustling. The insurance business exploded during that time period. Matter of fact, for all of you that are listening, this was a golden opportunity to train the entire market that you're dealing with so that you now have the ability to do telesales, right? This is a telesale. A lot of you guys are teleselling. You're not just going out. Some of you are doing teleselling and you're going out. But you know what? It wasn't that easy before the pandemic. People, they wanted you to come and sit. Now, all of a sudden, the old people, some of them still want you to go see, but they would prefer for you to do a Zoom or to do the e-app. So all of you guys and ladies are doing telesales. Hey, it's a fantastic time. You're now at the right time at the right place.
You are. I'll tell you what, this work from home, and that, I've seen it, man. Working with a lot of agents. I mean, but I'm all for going out there getting the experience. As an agent, I believe you should go out there get the experience, and we talked about that.
Without a doubt.
Going out the doors and all that. But once you can sit across that table and see the look on people's faces, once you ask them like what's going to happen if something were to ever happen to you, would y'all be able to stay in this house? And you see the reaction on their face, and that just helps you on the phone because you know the persona of the person you're dealing with because you sat across the table. And I'm not talking like I got thousands of years of experience. I guess I'm a master student of the game, a lot of theory from what I know, but I just know for a fact, and it makes sense if you go into the house and you see the reactions of the family and understand how, to overcome those objections and things like that, and building that rapport, you could kill it over the phone, instead of just starting over the phone and you kind of blinded. So, but once you get to that point where you can just be over the phone, Zoom, and man, you could be in your underwear, man, just make a good $10,000 that day,
Well, you know what, Brandon? No, the best of the best, because I'm still a hands-on guy, right? And here's
Yeah.
what all of you will find when you get good at the discovery, right? So some of you are selling final expense, some of you are doing mortgage protection, some of you are doing IULs and annuities. So I do them all, okay? But it's important when you go, you're going to maybe they come in, they're just wanting a final expense. But as you're doing your discovery, you uncover, money that maybe they got in a savings account. And then you have the ability to roll that into an annuity. Or maybe you're going to somebody with a mortgage protection. You come to find out they've got a 401k. Look, right now is golden time for 401ks because look, it takes normally 4 to 10 years once the market goes down to get back flush. Now that's not ruled all the time, but that's kind of the rule of thumb to get back to where you were at, right? Before the market fell. And the good thing about our IUL program, it has a floor. It does have a ceiling, right? But it has no floor. So that means that you may not make as much as.
Like we lost Michael there for a second. He was just explaining the IUL product. And so, I'll let him explain it a little bit more. But basically, talking about the 401k, you have to pay taxes when you take it out. IUL, it's tax free, but it looks like he got stuck there. So we'll try to wait for him to come back. But if not, we'll end the stream. Oh, we lost him. It's all good. All right. All right, y'all. We'll see y'all next week.